Hello?
Lil Eddie.
Yo, what's up? What's good? What's good?
Welcome to KEMPIRE Radio. Everyone, please give a round of applause to my special guest, singer-songwriter, Lil Eddie.
Man, what's good, man?
How you doing, mister?
Man, just in the studio right now. Been a long, long day.
I can imagine you haven't been tweeting or anything.
Yeah, it's actually been a long week, but today has just been like, the last 2 days have been crazy, but hard work pays off, so I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm blessed right now.
Most definitely. What current projects are you working on, if you can share with us?
Yeah, I'm working on a couple of different projects. I'm working on this new signing. Can't really say what label he signed to, but his name is Cody Simpson. Mm-hmm. Worked on a bunch of joints with him on his album. I worked on Adrienne Bailon's new album. I did about 4 or 5 joints on her album.
Oh, wow.
Karina Passion, I did like 9 records on her.
Wow.
Little John's album coming out. Worked on that, J. Cole. The Oh Yeah single, and his album's about to come out really soon. Got 2 on there. Just a bunch of different things, man, and I've been as well working on my stuff.
Do you sleep at all? Because you're working on all these projects. When do you have time in the day?
Anybody that follows me on Twitter knows that I'm a maniac and I'm an insomniac. I never sleep, never, ever sleep. It's like I'm always just working and working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm blessed, man. I remember hearing people say, "Man, you sleep when you die." When I was younger, but it's the truth. Now I feel the same way. I'm just like, man, I got to get this now. The opportunity's here now, so I'm gonna run with that. You know what I mean? This is what I always wanted to do, so I don't mind putting in the work.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you, because KEMPIRE Radio has a lot of the up-and-coming singers and songwriters, entertainers, performers that listen to the show. What kind of advice would you give those performers, you know, that are trying to break into this industry?
Man, I would just say, hey, what's up, man? Sorry, guys. Man, I would just say if the music business is something that you really want to be in, you really want to get into, not even on your music business, whatever you want to do in life, I'd say you have to work hard and you have to just believe in yourself and keep pushing. It sounds cliche, but it's the truth, man. Like, you just have to keep going. You have to ride till the wheels fall off and eat till your teeth fall off, bite till your teeth fall off. It's almost, you know what I'm saying? I just encourage everybody to just keep going, following your dreams in your heart, but being honest to yourself. And if this is a profession you're trying to get into, perfect your craft. You know what I'm saying? Work hard on doing that. Because at the end of the day, you have to be at least, you have to, the potential has to be there. And if you want people to believe in you, sometimes first impressions are the last impression. You have to really perfect your craft, impress people as much as you possibly can with your first shot, you know what I mean, if you get that shot. Because sometimes, you know, this is like a lottery ticket. It ain't for everybody. But if you're honest with yourself and you work hard, and like I said, once again, if you perfect your craft, then you definitely have a shot at whatever you want to do in life, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, speaking of, you know, beginnings and things like that, how old were you when you were first signed?
My first deal was like 17, 18 years old, which was a Mario Winans, Yellow City Big 3. There was so many people involved, EMI Distribution and Puffy, a bunch of people involved in the first deal. It was, I was like 17 years old then, 17, 18. First out of high school, first day of college.
and that album ended up being shelved. I mean, a lot of artists, you know, get that experience, especially in this music industry. How did you bounce back from that to say, you know what, I'm not going to let that stop me, and I'm going to, you know, pursue the songwriting side of things?
Well, it was like interesting when I first had signed my deal. I was actually I had records on the charts as a songwriter. Because it kind of went hand in hand with what I was doing. I always had to convince people that I could write, producers I could write, just to get the opportunity behind the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Like, the opportunity never came to me because people didn't believe or see the R&B Spanish singer really doing that, or even being vocally, you know, advanced like the way I was. But so I used to lie to producers and be like, yo, I could write, so they can give me the opportunity to write, and that was the way I found myself behind the microphone. So when I first signed my deal, I already had songs. I wrote on the Carl Thomas, LL Cool J She Is single, and I wrote Gorilla Black and Mario Winans, You're the One. So I had signed my deal as an artist to do an English and Spanish album, and I had publishing offers on the table. So I was always doing the writing thing as well. And when the album didn't actually release, it was cool. I was already writing. I mean, I was discouraged, at a point because I feel like I put in so much work and it didn't happen. But now I could say it was a timing issue, and I wasn't as ready as I am now. You know what I mean? And God was just setting me up for something bigger. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming. And He's shown that to me already. So it was difficult, but like I said, once again, man, you have to keep. This is what you love. You're like a prisoner. You're like a slave to your artistry in your mind. You can't stop. There's no way you can stop because you just gonna have to. You just gonna want to keep going. Even when you want to stop, you're gonna get inspired again some sort of way, and it's gonna push you back into doing what you always love to do.
And you've had some. I mean, the United States hasn't really gotten to know you as a singer, but across the seas in Germany, you had a pretty big hit, Nightlife, right?
Yeah, that was a blessing, because it was really just a demo that leaked and got white labeled and charted. It was a top 20 record in Germany, and before then I was touring off of the album that leaked after I did Soul Train that didn't get actually physically released. It leaked overseas, so I was touring Germany for 3 years, the Middle East, and or just overseas, for like 3 years, and then the records were charting on an underground level, and then Nightlife just kind of took over and charted actually on like the Billboard over there, top 20, and it was crazy. I mean, when I went over there, I'm like, man, this is a demo I wrote for a female. It charted, and it kind of did its thing. So I'm like, wow, that's kind of, it's interesting. But it was definitely just more ammunition for me to keep going and pursuing, my artistry,
Most definitely. What do you think is the difference between, let's say, the international community and the United States music community?
It's interesting. What's interesting is that I find that artists overseas they're just honest with their music, and it doesn't matter. Like everything doesn't matter. Like the image isn't as important. It's really about the music. And I think, people find their niche over there. I think that there's still actual consumers. People buy music over there. There's record stores over there, so I got to give, they definitely have a up on that. There's not really much record stores in New York and just around the period.
It's pretty dead when it comes to record stores.
Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but I think, I don't know, maybe the labels are giving artists more opportunity overseas versus over here. It's a pretty critical.
Do you think that they invest in their artists a little bit more as well?
I would say I don't really know. I would say I would say maybe because I just find that a lot of artists overseas are really who they are, just like LaRue and Gaga and Little Boots and Adele, Amy Winehouse. What matters most is the quality of their music. And I know, a lot of people can agree with me when I say you can go to church almost anywhere in Brooklyn and find amazing singers and artists, people who have a story to tell, you know what I mean? But will they get that shot, I can't really say. It's a different market over here, and I guess the way they sell things over here is differently, you know what I mean, just to keep it 100,